Gamers, hello, hello. Boycotting Nintendo and the Merits of a Lost Cause by Tamago2474. I've never seen this guy before, nor do I know what he's going to talk about. But let's just see if this makes for an interesting conversation, I guess. Let's find out, Mr. Tamago. I like those headphones, by the way. They're a nice shade of red. You got Homie, you've got SpongeGar, you've got Futurama, you've got Among Us, you've got Scott Pilgrim, and you've got Fall Guys. I like your posters. Take it away.
So after I posted my video unboxing the Nintendo Switch 2, I received a couple of comments both on YouTube and Discord that had the same theme. The first one said, am I the only one disappointed in him not boycotting the Switch 2? And the second was actually a question in the Ask Me Anything chat in my Discord server asking, why have you decided not...
I'm going to steal that idea, guys. I want to have an Ask Me Anything chat. I want to have an Ask Me Anything chat. You guys, everyone's going to ask me dumb questions. Block them? Brother, what... They were asking actual questions. Okay, you know, I'm gonna block you. I'm gonna block you for that. Okay, I'm gonna block you. Okay. if those questions are a vector to an interesting conversation, then there's nothing wrong with him addressing them. When I say block them, it's just randos on the internet. These are people in his Discord, so I think it behooves him to address. There's nothing wrong with that.
I'm disappointed in him.
It's like right now, if you in the chat said something. And I just said, do I just block you and call it a day? Or do I address what you say? I'm assuming you in my chat, if you're in my chat, you're talking to me in good faith, right? Unless you're Alfonso, then you suck. Then I can just go, and you're cooked, you know? But other than that, I'm assuming you're in good faith. When I say like block and block and block and ban and ban and ban and ban them, I'm talking about randos on the internet, not people that willingly joined your Discord, presumably who are good fans. Come on, autism and gaming, all right? Use your brain blocks. I know you have one, all right? Except the Ryan Starlight, okay? Because he sucks. And Mr. Stone, he's the worst guy ever made. All he ever does is say, skibbity riz, you know what? I've had enough. But everyone else, though. I like everyone else, okay? Brad brings up a good point. You're right. Anyway, sorry to get sidetracked, Tamago. Let's continue.
And Discord that had the same theme. The first one said, am I the only one disappointed in him not boycotting the Switch 2? And the second was actually a question in the Ask Me Anything chat in my Discord server asking, why have you decided not to join in on the Switch 2 boycott? And I think this is a great opportunity for me to address quite a common issue that arises from what I see as a fundamental misunderstanding of just how hyper-individualized a person's experience on the internet is. So,
wow! It's almost like he's using a conversation that the people online gave to him as a vector for a more interesting conversation. It's almost like, that's what I tell people to do. Oh my god, it's the reverse of a people online. It's a good people online. Tamago, I'm in, brother. Tamago, I'm in, brother. I'm in.
Of just how hyper-individualized a person's experience on the internet is. So the question in the Discord server is asking why I decided not to join in on the boycott.
Yes. So I noticed that too. I'm glad you noticed that too, Mr. Tamago. Yeah, very presumptuous. It's like hang on. I thought we were all in the boycott. I'm like, well, I didn't fucking join it. Is it opt out? I thought it was opt in. Opt where? Like, where's this? Sorry, are we meeting on like the 26th? What are we talking about here? Like, I didn't join no boycott. I was fine with the Switch 2's pricey, but like overall, I think it was fair enough. It's the games I had an issue with. So I ain't joining your boycott. Fuck you.
The boycott. In their view, it was an active choice I made to buy the Nintendo Switch 2 in spite of the boycott. Maybe in order to make some statement or in complete disregard for what the boycott was trying to achieve. But the truth is honestly much more mundane.
It's just you wanted a Switch 2, which is basically me.
I just didn't know anyone was boycotting the Nintendo Switch.
Oh, that's even more interesting. He was terminally offline. Do you know what? Hey, I respect it. Brother was out here living a life. You know what? Fair dues to you, lad. Yeah, I was aware that people were like, oh, boycott Nintendo. I was just like, no, I think the price was fair. It's the games that are not. And luckily, Mario Kart World was bundled with the Switch 2, so I didn't have to contend with spending £75, which I probably would have, so I could make content, but I definitely would have advised other people not to.
2. This message was actually the first time I'd ever heard the sentiment of people wanting to boycott it. And when I first saw these messages related to my video, I didn't actually even know what triggered the cause for a boycott in the first place. If I had to guess, I could say maybe it was related to the new $80 price tag for Nintendo
you were right for
games,
assuming that.
the welcome tour being essentially a paid tech demo, or maybe something related to the new virtual game cards.
People went too happy with that.
The truth is, I didn't actually know why people would want to boycott the Switch 2, and
but I think that's the issue with all of these like internet like snap movements, is that a lot of the time the source gets lost, and I think that kind of happened a bit with the Switch 2. I think with the Switch 2 it was a bit more clear in that the price was a bit too much. Drop the price. But yeah, a lot of the time when it comes to these internet like movements or sort of like boycott, so to speak, is that sometimes the source gets lost, or it gets lost in the source, should I say, which is unfortunate, but.
And I imagine to the people who left these comments, and especially the one who expressed disappointment in me, that sounds unbelievable. Like, how could you not know? But the thing is, most people out there are actually gonna be like me in that regard. You have to be a certain kind of person to even have this discussion of a boycott show up on your radar.
100%. I think that's a good point for him to bring up. I think this is something that I noticed. I think it noticed a couple of years ago, but like it's sinking in more and more as the days go by. Is that the discourse we all discuss in the gaming sphere is a lot more niche than we think it is. I think by human standards, literally every one of us in the chat are like terminally online. I like to think that I'm not speaking for we. Okay, some of you guys might be crazy, but I like to think we as a community, if I was to talk collectively, do it a bit better in that like we'll engage in conversations, but we kind of just play video games, you know what I mean? So one thing that's to remember, just to be a bit cognizant of, is that these conversations are way more niche than you think they are. They really are, honestly. Which is why, personally, my barometer for whether something actually matters is if I see like people in my real life, like my coworkers, my mum. Like that's how I realized Andrew Tate was a big deal. I don't know if you've already forgotten about him, but like the fact that my mum asked me, Moresty, who the hell is Andrew Tate? I was like, oh, he's like a thing. If randos, like just normal people are noticing this thing, then yeah, okay, now it's like a thing. Same with like TikTok, for example. When I saw TikTok like everywhere, I'm like, okay, like TikTok's a thing. It's like this niche little dancing musically knockoff, TikTok's like a thing. It's the big player, you know what I mean? So I think that's generally my good barometer for deciding whether something is like broken to the mainstream. If like my coworkers and like people like my mom, even my sisters, and even Ozzy to some degree, my brothers and my sisters, even they're like way more offline than I am. So I think I've got some good barometers. I've got like my siblings who are online, but like I would say like much lower on the lower scale of the discourse. Then I have like my coworkers who are a little lower. Then I have my mum who's like, mom is in WhatsApp group chats with like the Somali mums in the neighborhood, and that's it. So my mum knows we've hit like terminal velocity, you know what I mean? So I would say try to find some barometers that you can use in your life to track how online something truly is. If your parents are also terminally online, I'm sorry. Because as far as I would say, that's the best barometer possible. But yeah, try and find some like yardsticks to gauge as to how hyper-specific something is. That's what I would say to you.
Follow Nintendo news despite having played a lot of their games and owning a handful of their consoles in the past. In fact, the only time I was really paying all that much attention to Nintendo news was when the YouTuber Etika would talk about it. And that
Etika, you're taken from us too soon, brother.
Was definitely more out of an interest in Etika than an interest in Nintendo. Rest in peace to Etika, by the way, join the boys forever. And with how recommendation algorithms on all the various social media sites work, if you don't engage with something, you will not see it.
The internet is and this is another thing I can expand on. The internet is way more atomized than it ever used to be even 5 years ago, 10 years ago, right? There's a reason why I've changed my language that I use, chat. Whenever I say to people, did you see this thing? Because like the assumption is we all share the same algorithm. We do not. Everyone's atomized to an unbelievable degree. It's actually insane. Everyone's algorithms are so unbelievably unique. I could see something all over my timeline, but some of you guys might be like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, for example, I can literally give you an example right now, and half my chat's gonna go, oh my god, Mr. you saw that too? And half are gonna be like, Mr. what the fuck are you talking about? But on my TikTok, and even on my Twitter, there's this woman, I forgot, she like has fallen in love with her therapist, and she's like been basically like documenting so many. It's like this actual like insanity. She's been documenting videos after videos of a psychiatrist, of her going to a psychiatrist, complaining that a psychiatrist loves her when like this guy doesn't even know who she is, and like all of that. And like it's actually unbelievable. I was saying, have you not heard about this at all? I might have seen that. Oh, let me see if I can try and find it. TikTok. It's been like all over my psychiatrist lady. Let me see if I can find it. Oh yeah, here it is. What's the deal with Kendra from TikTok in love with her psychiatrist? About 10 days ago. Yeah, I've been keeping big tabs on this. But yeah, in short, she's this woman who started seeing her psychiatrist, a man with for ADHD. During the 1-month sessions, Kendra developed a crush on a psychiatrist. The controversies lie in the fact that she fully believes he's dropped hints and is in love with her during the years of sessions. However, when telling her story, she's unable to conjure up any proof. She mentions that he listens to her, he's a psychiatrist, checks in on her, how the medicine is treating her, and commented on her appearance, nice glasses. Doesn't deter her advance or send her elsewhere. For other psychs, we know that these professionals are expected to continue care even if patients admit they have feelings to them, as it is a common occurrence and immediate termination of care could cause more psychological effects on the patient. We also know that he did create a boundary by saying the relationship is purely professional. She did push the boundary on border on harassment. Another situation devolving into something of a live study on psychosis. She's going live and singing songs, doing tarot, having ChatGPT verify her delusions, calling her oracle, and blocks anyone who tries to reason with her. Yeah, I've been like, this has been all over my feed for like the last week. But I bet none of you guys even know what the fuck this is. Yeah, it just goes to show you that like my algorithm is entirely different from you guys. If the internet was as like homogenized as it is, you guys would have known about this. But yeah, this Kendra woman is fucking crazy, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of obsessed with just seeing where it goes from here. You know what I mean? Like, is she gonna get banned from TikTok? Is she gonna is her therapist gonna finally speak out, even though he can't because of doctor-patient confidentiality? Yeah, this is yeah, like if I would have made if Moist made a video about it. So again, that's kind of your insight into any of this. Unless Moist makes a video, you just don't know. Yeah. So yeah, that's that is a good example of how separated our algorithms are. That the fact that one in my chat knew about this, but my fiance did because I've been talking to my fiance about it quite a bit. Is funny. So that just goes to show you. So just remember, guys, when you've seen something, that doesn't mean everyone's seen it. Which is why I always say, "Hey, is this thing of mine shown up in your algorithm?" And you say, "No, I've been getting this thing all over my algorithm." I don't say, "Have you seen this?" No, I can't believe you haven't seen this. You know what I mean? Like, that's what I used to say, but like now that I've realized just how atomized everyone is, you have to like kind of shift your language somewhat. You know? I think a lot of people don't realize how we're still at a time where these people just don't know, where there are people who just don't know about things that probably seem big. Yeah, no, definitely. I think every day, chat, there's like a channel that you've never heard of in a genre you would never even consider that has like 1 million subs, honestly. That's how it is, you know?
Better and for media sites work, if you don't engage with something, you will not see it, for better and for worse. Whereas for another person, if they're really invested in not just Nintendo, but specifically the subset of the Nintendo fandom that discusses consumer rights as a topic, I imagine they would be seeing calls for a boycott everywhere, on YouTube, on Reddit, in the Discord servers they hang out in. It would be almost inescapable, to the point where it would seem ridiculous to them that a person like me, who not only plays games, but specifically has a career based on making videos about games, would have never heard of it.
You smoke crack, don't you? You smoke crack, don't you?
But it's true, I didn't. And I guarantee that most, or in the very least, a lot of the people watching this video right now are hearing about this push to boycott the Switch 2 for the first time because I'm talking about it. It's just the nature.
Yeah, I suppose that's true. I suppose if you're a channel that doesn't cover like any sort of like gaming news, I suppose, yeah, I could understand that. Whereas for me, I kind of like talking about gaming news, so I suppose people in my audience might have known about that, maybe not, because I don't think I talked about the boycott at all. But yeah, I kind of like talking about gaming news. I like keeping tabs on gaming news. I think it's interesting.
Of the internet, but it's not exclusive to the internet, nor is it new. Echo chambers and bubbles have always existed. It's just that social media recommendation algorithms tailor-made for every individual user took that phenomenon and put it on crack so the tech giants could make billions from it. So with that out of the way, let's talk about this boycott. Why were people calling for the masses to not buy a Nintendo Switch 2? From what I've been able to gather, it's in response to a general sense that Nintendo is being very anti-consumer.
Yeah, they're not a guy anymore.
I already mentioned the new $80 price tag for Nintendo games, which, as far as I know, is the first time we're seeing a base game released at that price. Not a special or a collector's edition, but just the basic standard edition game. Remember, it was only last year that Ubisoft was trying to defend a $70 price tag for Skull and Bones by calling it the world's first quadruple A game, whatever the hell that means. If people accept an $80 price tag for Mario Kart World, it will only encourage Nintendo to keep pushing it with their prices.
GTA is going to be $100, and we just have to put up with that game. It's going to hurt my wallet, man, when I want to buy that.
Embolden their competitors too,
like
as well.
90 quid,
There's also
man.
the price of peripherals for the Switch 2. The webcam costs $55. The Pro Controller costs $85. The Joy-Cons cost $95.
Damn!
Also, for a long time, Nintendo has just been very bold with how they treat their audience. Copyright claiming people who make videos about their games, shutting down fan projects, and threatening legal action against those who make them, restricting access to their older titles, and then punishing the use of emulators to play those titles. Sometimes you would think Nintendo hates the people who love their games.
Yeah,
so there are legitimate reasons for people to be unhappy with Nintendo, and of course it's your right, not just as a consumer, but as a person, to not buy something out of protest.
True.
Although now that I'm thinking about it, Trump calling the Tesla boycotts illegal was actually crazy. Like, you are legally mandated to buy this product, but whatever. But
exactly, you have to buy one to I better see one in your next video, okay?
despite all this, the Switch 2 went on to become one of the fastest selling games console of all time. And you can find clips of people playing as the cow in Mario Kart World all over social media. So understandably, this prompted those who were deeply invested in Nintendo news to say, hey, yo, what happened to the boycott? And this comes back to what I was saying before. On the internet, we're not all getting the same information. For the most part, we're getting a combination of what we want to see and what we engage with most, even if we don't necessarily want to see it. And that can create a false sense that everyone is rallying around something big. And it's
honestly, anger it's just sad, isn't it? Fucking hell, man. Honestly, the more I think about it, the more upset I get, I'll be real with you. Fucking rage is such a potent emotion, man. And when you get stuck in these fucking rage cycles of constantly getting raged, man, it's just... Man, honestly, your fucking dopamine receptors is gonna get burnt the fuck out, man, honestly. God damn.
It's becoming a movement when really it might just be a small crowd of people talking enthusiastically.
We need more joy bait. Literally, that's why I'm so joyful and whimsical, chat. I'm full of joy and whimsy. I love video games, chat. I love video games. I love video games, guys. Tell me about your favorite video game ever made. I love video games.
To each other. Now, I've been reading what people have had to say post.
I'm sorry, just to pause you again. Just to go back on the rage thing. Like even I'm kind of addicted. Like I won't even pretend like I'm part of the problem in a way. Because like I won't pretend that, because I love like disagreement. I love divisiveness. I love that shit. Like I think that's where like my element is. I love explaining stuff. I love analyzing video games. I love that too. But like, what I call evil mystique, where I'm just like, I am going to book and epically own and be so argumentative. Because I just love being in the divisive zone. It's just fun for me. But at the same time, I love being joyful and whimsical and analytical and whimsical and being hooical, you know. But then again, I have my dark side. Yes. Maybe I will destroy a chudly Nintendo fan. I don't know, man. I have fun either way, so I guess I'm part of the problem in a way, you know. But just look at my Moresty. I guarantee you, like again, I haven't looked at the Moresty channel like in a while. I just look at the comments. I just go on my YouTube Studio app and look at the comments. I don't look at I don't even see the numbers anymore. Fucking Hot Wheels Gamer source all that for me. Like, just look at the fucking the channel. It's proof. The channel is fucking proof. Dark. I look at it. 6K views. The best mug, 2K views. It's all your fault. It's all your fault. If I upload what I want, so I don't give a shit, right? But like 10K, I got 10K. They got fucking 10K. I don't even know. At least me talking about video games got 4K. I'm happy with that. 6K. Look, literally look at this shit. It all just works. It all just works. Look, 11K on fucking Sonic, 10K. Man, 10K. Fuck it, hey lads. You guys are mad. You guys are all mad. Well, you know, in all fairness, that was a bit of a weird upload. Literally, it's all your fault. It's all your, literally everyone watching. If you watch any of the mean stuff, you're part of the problem. Oh man. I haven't watched the rage bait type video in a while. Yeah, like in all fact, like, just to clarify, for full disclosure, I have started telling yeah, sorry for being a viewer. Yeah, get out of here, nerd. I have started telling Hot Wheels to like alternate. I've told him so you should be sorry for what. I've told Hot Wheels to alternate between I called it chicanerous and non-chicanerous. So a video where like where like it's a bit more fun, and a video where it's just a bit me going like I've told him to alternate between the two. So to like mix things up. So I hope you guys are happy with that. I think it's a fair compromise, and I'm quite happy with that personally. To be fair, Torgen started calling someone neurologically debilitated was insane. I think so too, honestly. I think you should. I don't know. Like, I literally, just to clarify, before I uploaded that, before that bit went live, I literally looked to see if the comment was still up. Because otherwise, I literally would have taken the video down before I uploaded it and added an addendum to the beginning saying he's taken this out. He's deleted this comment now, but I still want to keep this out for archival purposes. But literally before I pressed go live on that video or made it public, it was still up. So. Want to delete, Mr. Talking, so I can tell you that much. Want to delete, definitely. Anyway, either way, you guys are all part of the problem, all right?
Enthusiastically to each other. Now, I've been reading what people have had to say post the massive success of the Switch 2's launch, despite calls for a boycott, and it's been quite interesting. Predictably, many people expressed that they were never going to boycott it in the first place. They might have followed the conversations, they watched the videos, and they may have even agreed with the points being raised, but ultimately, they wanted a Switch 2 more than they wanted to take a stand against Nintendo.
Oh, are you saying they're not worth it? Oh, spineless. Oh, I can't move because I have no spine. He's calling them spineless, chat, and rightfully so. All I'm saying is that if you're one of those fuckheads who are like, boycott Nintendo, but then you bought anyway, like you are actually like I don't know. I wouldn't say like you're a criminal, but like you need to fucking correct yourself. Do you know what I mean? I was never against the Switch 2 as a console. I was against the price, but that's why I never bought Mario Kart 8 Deluxe because I'm not buying a £75 game. Thank you. But like, yeah, if you're one of those people who are like proper, like yeah, boycott, and you have one now, like actually, listen, diabolical. What I'm saying, diabolical behavior. Okay.
For others, the truth was that they weren't going to buy it in the first place. A consumer boycott necessarily requires that you, 1, actually want, and 2, have the means to buy the thing you are boycotting, and would likely have bought it were it not for the stance you're adopting in protest. That's part of what makes it a statement. You are
like for me, that's why I think the one I talk about is the 3D All-Stars. That's the one I always talk about when I say, this is the one time I boycott, this is the one time I protest. I was not okay with the idea of Nintendo releasing a game at limited time release, especially when it's digitally available. So I opted not to buy it. I would have loved to have bought 3D All-Stars. I would love to have had Mario Galaxy Sunshine and the 64 on an easily accessible package on a modern console. Yeah, that sounds fun to me. Didn't want to purchase it. Didn't want to. I could have. I had the money to. Didn't want to. So I am part of the good, okay? I'm part of the good.
Sacrificing something in order to make a point and hopefully affect change. So if you weren't already going to buy it, and keep in mind, most people don't buy consoles as soon as they release, then did you boycott it or did you just not buy it? You know, I wouldn't say I'm boycotting a 4-bedroom house in the heart of London. I just ain't got the facilities for that, big man. One trend I have seen, which I do find quite concerning, is people making fun of those that did call for a boycott and the general sentiment that boycotts don't work.
I hate these people. I just want to make it very clear. I think these people are the scum of the earth. And it's why I got... Maybe I should dial that back a little bit. But this is why I got so angry at Pariah. This is literally why I got so angry at Pariah. I had people tell me I was like too harsh with them. I'm just like, the idea that you would put people off in principle of protest or boycott, even if it's fruitless, is like genuinely like disgusting to me. Genuinely, like it's one of the worst things you could possibly do on principle. You know, obviously there's like criminal behavior is the worst thing you could literally do. But I mean, like on a principled level, I absolutely cannot stand you people. Sometimes I walk past Trafalgar Square when I'm done with the night shift, and sometimes I just see people protesting. I'm just like, it's amazing that we live in a society, bomb text, where you are just allowed to do that. 100 years ago, we would have been like at the whims of a king, and we would have just been the peasantry. But now we're just allowed to just say, hey, fuck you. And I'm just like, I'm so happy that you get to do that. Whether it's effective, whether it's fruitful, whether it's like you're doing it in the right avenue, that's an entirely different question. I love that you can do that. It's one of the things I love in principle, and I think it's one of the greatest things humanity's ever invented. So I genuinely think these are the worst people ever made, unironically.
and have never worked. This is simply not true, and it's very important we understand this because we live in a world. Yes, I'm doing we live in a society.
Literally, I did it as well. I did the same thing.
Whatever, but we live in a world, right, where the people at the top with a lot of power have a vested interest in convincing us, the masses,
it doesn't matter.
Less power individually, but a lot of power collectively.
That doesn't matter.
In fact, we don't have any power.
Yes, literally, he's a man of the people. That's why I love Tomorrow. That's why he's the GOAT. That's why he's the GOAT. I believe in the class solidarity, okay? Together we can do great things when we want to, all right?
When you take away what little power we do have, we won't even notice it or care. And so saying boycotts don't work to either discourage other people from boycotting or to excuse yourself from boycotting only serves to help those who both A, don't want you to exercise the power you have as a consumer, and B, actually want to strip you of that power.
Like if you genuinely believe if you're like Moresty, I genuinely believe a protest won't work, just shut up. Just don't say anything. Just don't say anything. I'm not going to pretend there's protests or boycotts that I've looked at and I've gone, But like, am I going to be like, it doesn't work, idiot? I'm like, no, fucking do it, man. Protest what you want. Am I going to join you? Probably not. I'm going to sit this one out personally. It's not something that I believe in with my whole heart. You do, though, you know? But the people that just go, ha ha, I'm just like, you are net negative on everything in everything on the planet. It's actually unbelievable. Oh man, this is something I get very passionate about, okay? This is something I get very passionate about.
You stay well-behaved and silent. This is one reason why monopolies are very bad for consumers. If one company owns everything, you no longer get to vote with your dollar because no matter what you buy, the same company profits. Also, the phrase boycotts have never worked, while maybe holding some weight when it comes to past boycotts of individual gaming titles, shouldn't be internalized to mean that a boycott never has and never will work in general. Boycotts are adopted as a strategy to apply pressure to companies, governments, and organizations precisely because they can and have worked historically. One of the clearest examples I can give is the Montgomery bus boycott. This is a boycott that took place in the city of Montgomery, Alabama, after Rosa Parks, a black woman, was arrested for refusing to give up her seat to a white man on the bus.
Do you think Tamargo's going to address the epic rap battle she had with Dream?
Boycott took a long time, over a year of the black residents of Montgomery refusing to take buses and suffering terrible backlash from their white counterparts in the form of harassment, violence, and having their homes and churches firebombed. But eventually, the racial segregation of buses in Montgomery was ruled unconstitutional, and the decision was upheld by the Supreme Court of the United States of America. It wasn't smooth sailing after that by any means, but it was a tangible step towards progress. Now, you might say, oh, come on, bro, you are being way too dramatic invoking 1950s racial segregation in America when we're talking about freaking video games.
No, I think you're right. I think it's so right for that.
Understand, I brought it up as a familiar example to illustrate that boycotts can and have worked. But also, dude, if you're not willing to stand up when it comes to the small things and you allow those little liberties you take for granted to be whittled away, by the time it comes to the big things that will actually hugely impact your life, you won't even be prepared to put up a fight.
Yeah, like, what was that saying? Like, first they came for the, first they came for the movie guys, and I didn't complain because I'm not a movie guy. Then they went for the sports, and I did not care because I don't watch sports. And then they came for the gamers, and no one was left to defend me. It's like, I don't know. There's like, obviously I replaced the things, but like, there's a saying where it's like, oh yeah, like literally, they first went against this guy, but I didn't care because I'm not that guy. You know what I mean? And that saying, you know, the whole saying, I forgot what the actual saying is, but yeah, if you don't defend the things in principle, then once it's your turn, once you're on the fire, there's literally no one left for you. It's a very important thing to do.
You have no...
Yeah, that's what you say. I'm not saying I'm going to be in the firing line of every protest ever, obviously. That's not something I expect of everyone. But just don't ever do the thing where you just go, oh, protest it. Like, it's just stupid. It's just stupid.
Experience. Now, there are many reasons why the Nintendo boycott not only didn't work out, but wasn't even a blip on most people's radar. For one, Nintendo is a massive multinational corporation. It's arguably the most recognizable gaming brand in the world, and inarguably the owner of the most recognizable gaming franchises known in every country on the planet. Montgomery is a single city in Alabama, and buses are just one form of transportation in that city. The scale of the task is different. For a boycott to have higher chances of succeeding, there needs to be a clear target of the boycott, a clear action that consumers or service users can take, and there needs to be specific demands that the boycott is trying to get fulfilled. And even after...
I think that's the issue. That was the issue with like the, what's it? Whenever there's a gaming boycott, that's why I feel like the issue is that like it's never clear what we want, or never clear what the gamers in hand want. It's never like there's never any like focal point. You know what I mean?
All of this, it will still take a very long time. People were walking to work in Montgomery.
Okay. Oh yeah, that's what it was. That's what it was. My bad. That's where the original quote came from. First they came for the blanket, and I wasn't because yeah, that's the quote. That's the quote.
For over a year before they got the court ruling. To do something like this with a company as sprawling as Nintendo would require exceptional organization and exceptional collective conviction. A few YouTubers posting videos shaming Nintendo over the Switch 2, only to then buy the Switch 2 as
Oh my god. Listen, round of applause. Round of applause, man. Fucking still one of the most generational howlers. On chat. If I ever, like, for an April Fool's video or something, do like top 10 generational YouTuber howlers, this has to be like top 3. Holy shit. This was like the fun. When I found out that this man made like, don't buy the Switch 2. And he fucking was like, he went to a midnight release, by the way. He went to a midnight release when he said he wasn't the spine on this man is working overtime. Fucking generational howler.
As soon as it releases, will not cut it. I do want to say though, I don't appreciate these snarky comments where people are like, hey, how's the boycott coming along? Whenever Nintendo boasts record sales numbers, or indeed when any attempt at collective action doesn't work out. You gotta understand these.
I would pretend I haven't made my fair share of like, raise the price jokes. I would pretend I haven't made jokes, but that's literally what they were. I'm just making like harmless jokes. I'm never trying to dissuade anyone from like literally protesting. If that's what they want to do, then go for it. But like, obviously I've made my fair share of jokes. I'm not gonna pretend.
People are boycotting for you when they demand that companies employ better business practices that benefit the consumer and protect their rights. That's good for everybody. Even when it doesn't work out, and even when the attempt itself is woefully underwhelming, you should still support it in theory, even if not in practice, because they're advocating
100%.
for something that benefits the people.
Just like, what was it that I said, like when it came to the drop the price thing? Yeah, I think spamming in their live chat, which they're most likely never going to read, and we don't even know if the broadcast itself was actually live. It could have just been a pre-recorded like live stream, if that makes sense. Like this could be a pre-recorded. Like you could literally click go live and then like play a video in OBS and pretend it's a live stream. They probably could have done that. So like doing it that way just makes no sense. That was my issue with the drop the price thing. Do it on like Twitter or something. Do it like somewhere else. I don't know.
Just because it didn't work doesn't mean it wasn't a good thing to try. I mean, people will be out here clowning on others for a boycott or a protest as though licking the boot and hoping you get treated nice if you put your back into it is a better alternative. So if you want to boycott the Switch 2 because you don't agree with Nintendo's business practices, I say do it even if nobody else joins you. It doesn't always have to be about starting a movement. It can also just be a decision you make as a consumer. And the console only has like 2 games anyway, so whatever.
True! True, it has only 2 get word! True! Is this 2 videos in a row, chat, where patron Percy ended up being actually good? Tomago 2474. The best to ever do it. God damn, yeah, very insightful video. And I think you got your points. I think you were very eloquent in your points. And I feel like you presented them very well. And the pacing was great. And the points were amazing. And those headphones, I was just staring at those headphones all day, I'll be real with you. Where did you get those headphones? I just like the shade of red. That shade of red is really winning me over. Fucking hell. It just looks so good. God damn, broski, I like it. They got the buff-ass arms as well. Where'd you go gym, man? Did you go like fucking Pure Gym? Which one do you go to, man? You gotta help me, all right? I need a personal trainer. I'm lazy and I always give up after like two not enough rounds. I'm lazy, man. You gotta help me. You gotta help me. Listen, you're in London. You gotta help your boy out, okay? I know. Let's probably 6 up in this bitch. Let's have a look at see what the comments had to say. Do some push-ups. I've got some like 5 kilogram dumbbells. I've been doing that, you know? And then I go to the gym every now and again, do some cardio. I feel like I need someone to motivate me. And now that I don't live near Aussie anymore, I don't have that motivation. I fully intend on buying the Switch 2 when it comes out. Then I saw the direct and all the pricing changes. I decided I couldn't support them anymore. I was enjoying a large movement. It was just my decision that at the time was in harmony with the boycott movement. Yeah, fair. This is a fantastic video, and it's a point I think people need to be making because so many people are being snarky or sarcastic over things that need to happen. True. Yep. Sarcastic? We'll say that again. Sarcastic is close to fantastic, I guess. Oh, get out of here, nerd. unless someone like you cares an awful lot, nothing is going to get better. It's not. Dr. Suez. I'm gonna like that comment, okay? Immediately love this video. It's so refreshing to see someone take back and quality annoying people on both sides. You don't get people to your side by being condescending and shaming them. They're just gonna go in the opposite direction to spite you. Yep, that's literally just bars, really. That's why when like I actually want to like convince people and persuade people of my arguments, I try and be as earnest as possible. Like when I'm being chicanerous, it's like quite obvious, you know what I mean? I'm not trying to win hearts and minds when I'm like saying like skibbity toilet is cringe, you know what I mean? But it kind of you can be right, but like it doesn't matter if you don't present your points correctly. I think that's a very important thing that you learn when you're an adult. Finally, so I've been looking for this for years, and finally someone said it. Finally. When he shows clips of Schedule 1, but I'm not seeing a new video. Man, make the video, okay? Finally. Great video. I don't think getting snarky over failed boycotts does anything but be a jerk. That said, I think I know why people are snarky about it. For those that pay attention but have no problem with these things and plan to buy it, those stood against it, mocked it, and made fun of those consumers relentlessly, calling them names, mocking them. The boycott failed not because it doesn't have well intentions, but those spreading to spend their time attacking people who are against the boycott. They made it a consumer versus consumer battle instead of a consumer versus company. And the movement got riddled with people who never planned to buy the system regardless of those practices. Even some of the loudest creators talking about it, many of them didn't buy Switch. They had no desire to begin with, so they are doing it to mock those that do it. And when such aggression exists, it creates a toxic movement. One where, when it fails, those that oppose it run victory laps and laugh at it happening. Oh, the points of the movement get lost because there's too many made it about attacking fanboys instead of the company. Yeah, literally. Praise the rice. I think we kind of did a little bit of that, I'll be real, but I like to think I did it in good fun, you know? My dad told me it's rude to say finally when the waiter delivers food to you. I'd say it's a little bit rude. But next time you say, finally, I've been sitting here for months and no one's been serving me. Finally, someone served me. You gotta do that. Thank you, really glad you done. You know what? I'm part of the club, brother. I'm part of the club, all right? I'm part of the club, Tamago, okay? Tamago? I have no idea how to pronounce it, but I'm sure I'm gonna find out nonetheless. Are we just like back-to-back good videos now, chat? God damn. Tamago, my man, my fellow Londoner. Broski, all right? Let's game together, okay? You've never been in a musty lobby and it shows, okay? My Mario Kart lobbies are crazy. I bet you one London pint that you could beat me at Mario Kart, all right? That's my bet to you, okay? I will leave it there, chat. Go subscribe. He seems like a chill guy.